your seat?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't have a seat. I just walk them.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's not yours.
Sorry. She's getting this for a second, and I'll read it.
You guys good? Yeah. Josh, obviously big news that Micah Hunter's back. What does that mean for you and this football team?
Well, for me personally, he's one of my favorite humans of all time. So to have him in the building is awesome. Someone that you can talk to about not just football things, but life things. He's an honest guy. He's a smart guy. And, just having that type of person and that knowledge in our locker room has to pay benefits to us. So obviously he's very familiar with what we do on defense. Just a great guy to have.
What was it like when you walked in?
He had texted me the other day, so I got to walk in yesterday on Tuesday and go give him a big old hug. So it was good to see him.
Sean had told us that he's so intentional about who he would bring in at this time of the year, just given, the team's already kind of formed. You don't want to mess up that identity too much. What is it about Micah and his leadership, even on both sides of the ball, that's going to allow him to help this group, whatever his role is at?
Yeah, I think he understands, why he was brought here. Whether that's playing a little bit, a lot of it, or just being a resource for guys and a source of knowledge. And I think that's really cool. And again, just the genuineness that he has. You don't find that too often with anybody anymore, and he's a special cat.
Josh, how do you turn the attention aside from the Snow Angels and the AFC Championship, East Championship match, all that stuff, to refocus on the next goal?
Yeah, I think again it's the same thing that we've done each and every week, and that's our commitment to preparing the best that we can prepare, and putting our best foot forward every time we step on that football field. And it's no different this week than it was last week. We're just, again, we're having fun doing what we do. At the same time, we're very intentional about what we're doing, and it's the same 1-0 each and every week mindset that we've had throughout the season, and that's what we're going to continue to have. We understand we're going all the way across the country to a team that's very hungry. They've been playing really good football as of late. Their defensive line is one of the better units you'll see. They got a lot of dogs up front. I know they're young up there, but some really, really good players, some studs over there on their defensive side of the ball. So, and then you got one of the best quarterbacks to, in my opinion, play the game of football in Matt. So we got to be ready to go and ready for whatever they can throw at us.
Kind of not dull this week, 1 week at a time.
No, not really. Coach McDermott talks about the process a lot, and we genuinely we love the process here. We love going through. We're not going through the motions. We're getting in. And I got to talk with Joe yesterday, Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, we were off on Monday, off on Tuesday, but the amount of guys that come in on Monday and Tuesday is by far and away the most I've seen since I've been here. Guys that just love being around the building, love being around each other. And I think that's part of the reason why we've been having the success that we've had, is guys are bought in.
How much pride do you take in being the person that kind of helps set the tone for making sure everybody kind of wants to be around and enjoys being around?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in that. I think that's, again, I just try to convey the happiness and love of the game that I have to my teammates and get to show them how much fun it is to be here in Buffalo. And again, at times Buffalo gets a bad rep for the snow and the cold, but again, we've got a lot of things here in this building and facility that aren't tangible other places, and that's again the proximity to being close to the facility, the type of men that we bring in this locker room, and the camaraderie that we have.
Josh, your rushing touchdown on Sunday, that set history. You gave that ball away to Cam Oregon, who I spoke to this morning. He wants to give you that ball back. Would you want it back as part of history?
I probably not. I gave it away for a reason, so I think that was meant to be. But I've got enough game balls and game memorabilia. That stuff, I just honestly, I put it away. I don't really ever see it, and it's not super meaningful to me. So they can. I hope whoever has it enjoys it and they can keep it.
Josh, with respect to the fact that this is a team game, do you feel like this season represents your best football?
I think so. Again, just the the commitment that I've made to understanding what we're doing on offense, making sure that I'm making the right decisions. Obviously, coming into the season, I really wanted to limit the turnovers, and we've done a good job with that. But still got to continue to work on that and find ways to make the best decisions possible. But again, I'm just trying to be each and every play the best quarterback that I can be, and just the mindset that maybe I've adopted this year, and that's thanks to Joe Brady and the staff that we've got. And again, I think it helps having the guys that we have in this locker room where you have a lot of trust in what you're doing, and you don't have to try to do too much.
Hey Josh, with Mitch no longer here, Connor McGovern referred to David Edwards as the new kind of dad figure in that offensive line group. Have you seen that from him, and just how has he been able to transition into the starting lineup seemingly so seamlessly?
Yeah, I mean, Dave, I would probably agree with Connor. He's just got this very calm nature to him where nothing's ever too big or too small. Nothing's ever too great or too bad. He's very, very calm and collected. Again, another guy that you can talk about not just football but life things. And again, I think just his experience of being around the league, his mentality stepping into the role that he's done a phenomenal job this year. But even going back to last year, I think he was one of those guys in the locker room that, again, you just trusted, and you could feel how much he cares about what he does. And he was our jumbo tight end, which is Alec this year, and wasn't asked to be a huge part of our offense, but we've asked him this year, and he stepped up, and he's been playing great football.
Josh, you talk about the playing with joy and the team, enjoying that. And I know there's the 24-hour rules, and you win and you put it aside. But is this team, they all seem to be able to enjoy themselves and then put it aside in a natural way. Like, do you trust that this team has that vibe where you can have fun, enjoy the game, enjoy the wins, and get right back to work? Have you all earned that right to be able to do that and do it in the right way to go forward?
Well, I think you have to earn it every week. I think the preparation that you put into it, and it's not always I need to sit here for 5 hours and watch every single play of film that they have. It's let me understand my assignment, let me understand what the defense is trying to do, and then come out here and execute and work on the fundamentals. And I think Coach McDermott does such a good job in terms of preaching how important fundamentals are, especially late in the season. And our guys are constantly on the jugs, are constantly on the field before and after practice. When nobody's in the building, they're taking care of their business, and I think that's what helps us maybe be a little looser and have a little bit more fun and joy, because our guys know that they've prepared the right way.
Your number of rushing attempts is down a little bit from the last 2 years, but the big plays rushing are still just as many. How do you think the way you use your legs has evolved now that you're in your 8th year?
Again, I just trust in my feet. I want to throw the ball. I want to let our guys who we pay to catch it and score touchdowns go catch and score touchdowns, right? And I want to let the guys that we pay to run the ball go run the ball. And I think we've done a great job of utilizing our running backs in the run game and in the pass game, where we really haven't had to dive too much into the quarterback run game. But obviously when opportunities present themselves in the passing game and there's rushing lanes available, sometimes it's necessary to take them to have a successful play, and that's, again, all I'm trying to do is execute every play to the best of my ability, and sometimes it calls for that.
How long did it take you to accept that, to get it, to not figure it out, but just to acknowledge that part of the game, that letting the guy, I mean, it's always probably been your goal, but just to take that step back and say, I trust those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still evolving, but again, I think if you just bring it back to the type of work ethic that our guys have continued to show throughout the year, you can't help but trust them. And I got a lot of trust in the guys in our locker room, offense, defense, special team included. So, yeah. Yeah, he's implemented Friday dad jokes in the meetings as well. They're very classy, very, very on brand for Coach McDermott. You'll have to ask him about it sometimes. But yeah, again, he's always preached be you with us here and let your personality show And I think this year he's taken a more, I guess, physical way of showing it. Him allowing to be a little looser, and again, I think that comes with trusting your team and seeing how hard these guys have continued to work throughout the season. And he's at a good spot. But again, every day we're still trying to get better.
What's your
The dad
favorite?
jokes
What's your
lose
biggest
anything
problem?
when they come up? Like, they're coming every Friday. Do they lose anything?
I mean, they're dad joke. I'm a big dad joke fan, so for me, I get it. I understand it. But I think, it could wear off a little bit, but they're good.
Josh, I know sometimes the stats are the stats. You don't really care about those all the time. But on your lateral touchdown, in less than 2 seconds, you went from 9.7 miles per hour to 16.61. Do you geek out over like the advanced metrics about your body at all?
Now, is that good though? I don't know.
7 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds. I think that's pretty crazy.
We got the ball in the end zone. That's good for me.
Have you
Yeah.
figured out how you scored twice on one play?
No, but don't ask questions.
Speaking of crazy, Alec Anderson. Sean was asked about Alec today to describe him. He just shook his head. So, can you describe Alec Anderson?
I don't think Alec could describe Alec. He's one of a kind. He's awesome. When he's on the field, you know it too. You can hear him. He's finding an edge on every single play, and he's been great to have in our locker room, in that O-line room. And you know that when he's on the field, he's going to have your back.
He feels like he was kind of feisty even before he had that role this year. Like, how have you just seen him always be prepared for that?
Yeah, I mean, again, type of man that he is. He's a hard worker. He loves his teammates. When he's on the field, he wants to show that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
up, baby?
Hey, new guy.
What's up, my Ohio
All
boy?
right.
Great, you?
All right.
Hope you enjoyed the sun while you saw it, 'cause it's gonna be a while.
I already knew that. I knew that coming into it. Prepared myself, mentally prepared the family, and yeah, we knew what was coming when we were headed this way for sure.
How tough of a decision was this? Was it tough?
I mean, it was. Obviously, this place is home to us. You know, everyone's saying welcome back. It's more like welcome home. Buffalo is home for us. You know, my wife, if she could live here year round, she probably would. She's a San Diego girl growing up. Kids love it here. My whole family from Ohio and Detroit head this way all the time. So, you know, Buffalo is home. So in that sense, it was an easy decision. But at the same time, being out in San Diego for the first time during the football season and working out, and you know, I was helping coach soccer on MJ's soccer team, and taking the kids all over, and you know, doing all type of stuff. But ultimately, it was a no-brainer to head back here.
What was it like? Never officially cleaned out.
I guess not.
Still junk in there.
There's still junk in there. There's still some of it is my junk. A lot of it is stolen. Taryn probably was the guy that ran through there and got all my stuff. D-Ham got some of my stuff. You'll probably see him wearing it around, have to snatch it back. But yeah, my locker was still there, and you know, it was an easy plug it and play.
Did watching the snow on Sunday, did watching all that snowfall on Sunday give you any second thought about making
No.
a decision?
No. I mean, you know, obviously the snow is, it could be brutal, it could be tough to get through and all that, but, you know, I grew up in it my entire life, been here for 7 years, so, I mean, it really wasn't too insane for us.
Can you take us through how the conversations went between you and the team, beginning with your free agency, kind of throughout the season, and how things materialized
Yeah.
leading up to this point?
You know, I just think it was a mutual understanding, you know, the way last year ended and the, you know, kind of the injury sake and all that, you know, in and out of the lineup, it was tough. Everybody, you guys all know that. And so finishing up last year is just, you know, my contract was up. So, you know, I felt like it was best to just get out to you know, back home in San Diego and just get healthy, mentally, physically, whatever. And so I, you know, never really heard anything from Bean, and so it was, you know, some conversation as far as like how you doing, this type, you know, that type of thing, but it was never like, hey, when you coming back, what do you want to do, that type of thing. And so that didn't really, you know, materialize until just recent. And so when that conversation was had, you know, obviously we were very excited, but at the same time, you know, we went from being very excited to like, wait, there's a lot of stuff we got to do to get, you know, the kids and everything in order. You know, kids are in school and that type of stuff. But then we go back to being super excited. Then we go back to being overwhelmed. So it was like that for a good 3 days. But ultimately, once we made the decision to head back this way, walking into this building and seeing everybody, seeing all the players, seeing all the coaches, watching all season how this year has progressed and seeing how successful this team is. I you know, I just want to come back and do anything I can do to help. You know, whether if it's helping young guys understand, you know, the NFL on and off the field, older guys, helping them, you know, with what they got to do on the field, whatever it may be. I'm here to help. I'm an open book, and so I'm excited for this role, and you know, it's a new role for me, and you know, I'm ready to excel in that one.
You call them, they call you first?
I have to say, I texted Big Phil. I texted Big Phil when he got signed here, and I said, Big Phil, I love you, man. Congrats. I'm so happy you're back in Buffalo. You know, you deserve it. They deserve it. And go get a ring. And his response back was, when you coming back? And I said, look, man, I've always said if they need me or whatever, you can give me a call. So I'm gonna give credit to Big Phil. I'm not paying him 3%. He's not my agent, but he's the one that kind of got the ball rolling and said something to Bean. Obviously, Bean already had a plan himself to reach out. So I've told you guys this before. I'm forever grateful for this organization, and so this is just icing on the cake. I was honored, and I feel like for me to come in, practice squad, and help, you know, any way I could, I felt honored. I felt honored that they even reached out. My wife, us, you know, everybody here loves us, and we love them. And it just made sense.
So what day did you make the decision?
What was that?
What day did you make it?
I don't know the exact day. I know that it went back and forth for a couple days. It was sometime over probably last week's game, I think. Probably last week was when we were kind of picking and choosing if we were going to head back, and then finally made that decision. So I don't know exactly what day. I know it was building up to the 49ers game because I wasn't going to be able to be here for that game. But yeah, sometime last week.
I know you're a really supportive family. Was it always, let's say for the last several months, hey, Dad, Michael, whatever you want to do? Was it, hey, we'd love to see you back? What was it like in that dynamic?
I think ultimately my family, they've always wanted to be back in Buffalo. They love it here. Like I said, it's home for us. So everyone was extremely supportive of what I had to do. My wife is, overly supportive. She looked at me after I got off the phone with Bean and was like, look, like this is on you. This is your career. This is your dream. Obviously you're taking on a different role, but ultimately the dream has always been, the goal has always been to bring a championship back to Buffalo. And if I can help, like I said, in any way, if I'm able to give T-Rap or D-Ham or whoever's out there a nugget to make a big play in a big game, I did my job. And so that's the way I see it. And everybody was extremely supportive of whatever decision I was going to make, because honestly it was a win-win. I was loving the routine we had with the kids out in San Diego, but also coming back here is a blessing. So there's not I could have.
You said from the beginning it was Buffalo or nowhere.
Yes.
You were true to your word.
Yeah.
You have to be specific. Were there other teams that inquired?
There was asking questions, asking about agent and asking my agent and stuff like that. Yeah, but like I said, I was only coming here, and I'm so happy that I even said that, because I not like I was going to go anywhere else, but this place is home, and then walking back into this building, the excitement that I would have seen people, and also the excitement that they had towards me is just, this is match made in heaven, baby. I just had to do it.
Hey, Michael, what were you like watching Bills games this year? Or what was it like for your family?
We were extremely excited. Every Sunday or Monday or whatever day the Bills were playing, we were watching, we were tuned in, and I was probably tuned in a little more than what I should be, with the kids running around and my wife trying to make dinner and stuff like that. It got a little hectic because out in San Diego, the night games start at 5 o'clock, so the kids aren't sleeping like they used to be in the past here. So they'd be running around the house and I'd be tuning into every game, and it's kind of hard on the TV copy to see exactly what defense and stuff like that that we were running and the big picture, but I was a fan just like everybody else. Whole family wearing Bills gear, had the kids dressed up in Bills gear, and just forever a fan. So to be able to get that call and come back and see what I can do to help was awesome.
This morning, the reaction to this announcement has been crazy. I saw one tweet from a fan, like, I'm going to be watching the interception against the Patriots and the 360 all day long.
Yeah.
What is it like to have that connection with this city and this family?
It's special. It's special. I mean, that's why we continue to do things, and not away from football. Continue to do things in this community, and give back, because this is a place that's always showed love to us. And I said to you guys many times, and Buffalo is to me a Midwest city. I know it's in New York, but it's just like where I'm from, in Fall Story, Ohio, and just like Iowa, and just like Green Bay, it's all small town feel, and just people are homegrown and stuff. So we've always connected with this place, and to see the reaction that people have with us signing back here is truly amazing. And I think it's an indication to how our family, my family, and the foundation, everything has given back to this community, and we'll continue to do that.
Like you touched on the big picture of you want to help this team win the Super Bowl, but do you have an individual goal for your role right now, or how do you approach it? You said it is such a different role. Like, what do you hope to do?
I am taking it day by day. And I think that's a special thing, and that's the cool thing about this new role, is I can take it day by day. I don't have to have a goal to be out there on Sunday this week, this weekend or next weekend or whatever it may be. I'm taking it day by day. Today I ran a little scout team running back. I was on scout team special teams, and haven't done that since Green Bay days. So listen, I'm here to help. I left my like I said, the goal has always been to bring a champ back here, and that's always going to be the goal. Until that happens, you guys probably going to be tired of me because after this season and I truly retire, maybe you might see me doing something else here until we get a championship. So, that's what it is.
Mike, your role is right now is practice squad and mentoring and doing all that. But
Yeah.
at some point, you might very well be needed to play more, or whatever it is. I assume you have the confidence that you can step back in when needed, right?
I'm going to do everything I can every single day to obviously put myself in position to work out and to be in the. I'm in all the meetings. I'm watching film, so I'm already doing all that. And honestly, getting the game plan, for this game, I opened it up and I looked at it and I was like, oh, it put me right back in to where I have been, the last 7 years, like the play calls and all this type of stuff. And I'm making all these adjustments in my head and stuff. And I'm like, wow, it's good to have, familiar coaches, familiar teammates and stuff like that. And so, and like I said, just taking it one day at a time and see what happens.
Hey, Mike, back in July, it said you were staying ready. What exactly did that entail from a day-to-day, week-to-week standpoint?
Working out. I was still seeing my guys in San Diego. Shout out to Brett Swain and Derek Samuel. I was still seeing them and getting workouts in anytime I could. Between the family time and stuff like that. And working out in my garage, running a lot. I was running on that Peloton treadmill, trying to break it. And so, I was just staying in shape. Once it got to the beginning of November, mid-November, I wouldn't say I was lifting as heavy. So I feel like at that time I lost a little bit of weight. So that's something I'm trying to put back on. But I like the run. It's kind of therapeutic to me, which sounds insane. So. I was always going to just stay in shape.
Mike, did you have a game or a point when you were like, I gotta go back?
No, not at all. No. I was just, like I said, taking it a day at a time. And when I got that phone call from Bean, that's when we started discussing it.
I should have phrased this better. Was there a moment when you were watching when you were like, wow, I really missed that?
That's every game, seeing guys going out there and win ball games and seeing on social media them celebrating after the wins and stuff. Like as a competitor, you'll never not want to be in that locker room because that you understand how hard it is to win in this league, and to be in that locker room after a game and seeing everybody celebrating, everybody giving hugs and all, that's the stuff that you're forever gonna miss. Is like the locker room and all that. So. There were some times that I wouldn't say it was hard because I was extremely happy for everybody here. It wasn't like I was like, dang man, I should be there. None of that. I was happy and I was living my best life in San Diego. So it was giving me time that I've never had and a new experience around my kids and being there 24/7 and all that type of stuff. So, but it was really cool to watch this team from the beginning to where they are now and seeing all the progression and all the plays they've made and all the wins, and I'm here to try to help take it to that next level.
Sean said he's very protective of the locker room, and you can't just drop anyone
Correct.
into that locker room, especially this time of year. That's why he trusts you. You can come in and understand the culture. What makes that special for you? Why are you the kind of person that can come in now and not upset that culture?
Because it's not about me. It's not about me at all. This team is going to win ball games with me in this locker room or not. So to me, this is an opportunity for myself to come in here and be a part of this organization. Like they didn't have to reach out to me. So, I feel honored. I feel honored that they would reach out to myself and want my family back, which they didn't have to do that. So. I understand the locker room. I understand how what Sean means by that. But at the same time, I've always been I feel like a glue guy within the locker room. I feel like I can relate to everybody. I can talk to Vaughn about something, and I can go over and talk to Josh about something. I can go over and talk about. And so for me, I've always taken pride trying to relate to guys around the locker room, and so to plug me back in there, I think it was pretty easy because a lot of these guys I played with in the past, and then. From guys I haven't played with, I'm just trying to get to know them and see what I can do to help them.
You said when you truly retire after this year, you kind of viewing this as like your last period.
Okay, we're not gonna. I'm on practice squad, guys. So we're not gonna make this like a big deal. But after this last game, that paper is going to be right here, and it's getting signed. You can guarantee that for sure.
Micah, what was your record?
Familiar faces on this team. There's also a lot of new faces on this team this season. What have you noticed about this year's group of football players?
Unselfish, and I know that's kind of what's been pushed, the narratives that's been pushed, but it's true. It's true. Like, these guys within this locker room are truly unselfish, and so for me, that's perfect. That's right up my alley. I'm about that unselfish ball. Everybody. I think everyone's been saying everybody eats and all that type of stuff. So I felt like coming back into this locker room and having that mentality was only right.
Micah, what was your record as a youth soccer coach?
I wasn't the head coach. I would help at practice, which I noticed my son got much better because I was at practice. So I learned that. But I didn't coach on game days. I think they won a couple games, and MJ scored on the very last day. On the very last game, he scored, and so we were extremely excited. That was the best part of the soccer season.
How did your body feel, especially in comparison to the end of last
Great. Way better. Last year I was dealing with those stingers and all that type of stuff, but now I was able to get back out to San Diego and stretching, working out, mentally, physically getting right. So way better than when it ended last season.
Last year you made the comment that you weren't big on the late night games. Is it coincident that the last regular season late night game just happened?
Really? So I came at the perfect time.
It's all daytime game.
I came at the perfect time. Yeah, the boys clinched. They're going to the playoffs, and here I come. That's insane. No late night games, and here we go. Let's do it. Early games from here on out. All good? Appreciate you guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you, folks.
Howdy. Doing pretty good. Team's 10-2. We're good on the football field, off the football field, going back to LA. Things are great.
What was it like just watching, well, not just watching his press conference, but the last 24 hours, just getting a guy like Micah back in the locker room?
I'm very observant, in the locker room, and his locker was always up through OTAs, and at the beginning of the season, I'm looking around like, what's going on, and then the crazy thing is, within the last 2 weeks, they took all this stuff out the locker, and I was like, damn, Micah not coming back. And I pull into the parking lot this morning, and I get ready to park in my spot, and I was in there early. It was just me and Micah, which I didn't know it was Micah at the time. And it's this huge parking lot, and I'm trying to park. We trying to park in the same spot, and I'm like, what? What's going on? And he parks, and I get out my car and I look over, and I'm like, that's Micah Hyde. He's back. They just took his stuff out of his locker this whole time. OTAs up until this point. 2 weeks ago, his stuff has been in his locker. They took it out. I wasn't sure. Then you see him, and you just get excited because you know what type of energy he brings to the locker room. You know his personality. We just got better by adding Micah Hyde, whether that's on the football field or off the football field. Having a guy like that in the locker room around all the guys, it's all plus in each and every category, and which makes a team good.
Sean talked about the delicate balance of bringing a player in, especially this late in
Yeah.
the season, and how it's got to be a good fit.
Yeah.
Why is Micah the right guy to
I
make
think
it smooth?
I think all of us can answer that question, man. He's just a great guy, man, on and off the football field. When you think about bringing guys in, do you think are they gonna suck up all the energy in there? Are they energy vampires? Is it gonna be about them? And we all can answer that question. We know what type of guy Micah is. We know what he brings to the football team on and off the football field. So he's always had great energy, smiling. Has a lot of knowledge. If we need him to go out there and play, he could play. If we need him to help out the rookies and get guys going, he can. Whether that's a pregame speech or just talking to the guys getting ready to go, Micah, you can't go wrong with a guy like Micah on your football team.
Vaughn, for all the things that you've accomplished in your career, you've never been on a team that's that much I know, but what do you think are the challenges of now refocusing on the next objective being AFC Champs?
I think Coach McDermott did a really good job about 6 weeks ago, and he was talking to the guys, and he was saying, like, let's not be tied to results. Let's go out there and play free, and let's go out there and play our style of football. Let's be the most prepared football team in the league, and let's go out there and play our game no matter what happens. A guy like me, you got 2 Super Bowls. It was kind of hard for me, like, at first, like, we're not tied to results. What do you mean? But what that does is that just drives down the anxiety. It's not about me and how I feel and how I play. It's about the whole team. And once you drive down the anxiety and you start preaching preparation and comfort and rest, like, you get the response that we have from our team. So even though we've clinched the playoffs, I think we still push that narrative. It's not about the results, and it's hard to say because you want to go out there and score 60 points and get 3 sacks and go crazy, but it's just about wins, and if we win, cool. If we don't, cool. And that's hard to say, like I said before, but it's not about me. It's about the overall mindset of this team. And when you drive down the anxiety, it's a weird phenomenon. Once you drive down the anxiety and you really just surrender to the outcome, you play at a level that you wouldn't normally play at. It's a strange phenomenon, but it's been working for us.
Is that your first time going back to LA? What is the significance of this trip?
I love everything about LA. The city brought me back. The team rejuvenated me. I got to play with some greats. I got coached by some greats. Coach McVay was incredible. Seeing Les Snead do his thing and work and just being a part of that Rams organization. It was a special moment in my life. And, it's still hard to even talk about, like, the decision coming to Buffalo and not going to LA and not playing with Aaron Donald and coming here. And, but I made the right decision for me. You couldn't go wrong with either one. You go play with Matthew Stafford or you go play with Josh Allen, So you couldn't go wrong with either one. But, I'm over here now and Josh is doing a great job. Matthew Stafford always do a great job. It's all love. Don't have anything negative to say. They showed me so much love over there. Coach McVay is one of the best coaches that I've ever been involved with. The structure of that team and the way they go about their business is something that I always cherish, and it's really what put into my mind, like, I want to help create teams like the Los Angeles Rams. So, it came at a point in my life where I really needed it, and they resurrected me. And going back to LA, playing at SoFi, the greatest stadium in the National Football League, it'll always be magical. We won a Super Bowl in there, and it'll always be magical for me, and it'll always be love going back to SoFi and going back to LA.
You mentioned Sean, what he did 6 weeks ago. I asked him a couple days ago. I've never noticed him in all the years I've covered him, how calm and cool and relaxed he seems.
Well,
have you noticed that? Has the team noticed that? Where does that come from?
I mean, he's been like that since I got here, and I heard the stories about, Drill Sergeant McDermott, but I haven't seen it. Like, he's my neighbor, and I haven't seen that shade of Coach McDermott at all. Whether we lost or whether we won, or whether it's about guys wearing suits on the plane or guys wearing street clothes on the plane. Like, I guess I just came at a great time with Coach McDermott because he's done a great job. He's definitely one of my favorite coaches to be around, to talk to. He's all about winning. He's all about bringing the best out of all of his players. And it's been a joy to be coached by Coach McDermott, and you can get things done in multiple different ways. In Denver, we got it done in different ways with Coach McVay. We did it in a different way, and here Coach McDermott, the way he's going about it is special, and he's driving down the anxiety, really boosting up their preparation and the recovery, and we've been able to really react, and this is the byproduct of that. So it's multiple ways of doing this, and that's shout out Coach McDermott, because you gotta feel comfortable in your skin and kind of take your foot off the gas on your players and expect them to trust them and expect them to go out here and do their stuff. But Coach McDermott is a great leader, man, and it's been an honor and a privilege to be with those guys.
What do you think about going up against the Rams offense? Matthew Stafford, he's not a scrambler at this point in his career, and just the weapons they have.
I mean, he's never been a scrambler, but he's made up for it in between his ears. He's a super smart quarterback, and he might can't run a 4.3, but he can he can throw a no-look past 50 yards. He can throw a no-look past 50 yards and look off the safety. So for the speed or whatever, the scrambling ability, he makes up for it with his arm talent and his intelligence. So, and he's got 2 good receivers over there, great running backs. Offensive line is solid. Coach McVay dials up, one of the best offensive schemes in the National Football League. So it'll be a challenge for us. And they've been in dogfights this whole season. Got a lot of respect for the Los Angeles Rams. That's where the "don't blink" phrase came from. We were up on the Rams in my first game as a Buffalo Bill, and I knew that no lead is safe around those guys. So got a lot of respect for those guys. Got a lot of respect for the offensive line, running backs, wide receivers, and of course Matthew Stafford.
Well, you've been on some special teams. Does this team have a little different feel than maybe a couple of ones in the past?
It does, but it doesn't. Success leaves clues, and you can do things in different ways, but at the same time, that special feeling is always there. And I'm probably the wrong one to ask about this because I'm just an optimistic type of guy. In Denver, we were 2-8, and I'm still feeling like, guys, we can do this. So I'm not the one to ask. But I've always had an optimistic outlook on life and especially on football teams. But I think it's easy for guys to be optimistic about this team when you look at the way Josh is playing and our defense is playing and all the tools that we have and the overall vibe for this team. So I think that's the wrong question for me to ask because I always feel optimistic about whatever our chances are to go out there and win it. Appreciate you guys.